Folks, today I want to share with you a story that I'm just running across. I believe this happened about a week ago. I'm not sure if anybody else has touched on this story or not, but it's definitely one that if you haven't heard about, you certainly need to hear about. This story is coming to us out of Georgia and is everything that I've ever preached about. Well, maybe not everything, but quite a bit of what I've preached about, involving cell phones in prison. Thinking of a synopsis for this could be like the dumbest criminal of the week type of a deal. This could be I told you so. This could be shit, I don't know. All the good ones are locked up. No, definitely not that. Hey, you play with fire, you're going to get burned. Or play stupid games, win stupid prizes is actually probably the best overview of all of this. The story involves a prisoner by the name of Trayvon Martin, not to be confused with the Trayvon Martin who lost his life years ago in Florida, where the stand your ground law really came into play. This is a different Trayvon Martin, Trayvon Nelson Martin, as a matter of fact, and again, in the state of Georgia. Trayvon Martin, this particular one, was serving time in prison in the state of Georgia for, I believe, drug charges. And I'm pretty sure that he had like a 10 or a 15-year sentence, what he was originally sentenced to. And of that time, he only had to serve, I think, like 5 years. But because of a cell phone in prison and that unsatiable appetite to chase clout while serving time, especially given access to social media and so much more access nowadays to cell phones in prison, that shit would bite him in his ass big time. Folks, let me share with you this headline that reads, "Inmate abuses fellow prisoner in Georgia state facility, sent back behind bars." Holy shit. Are you telling me that this dude actually got released? And because of something that he did involving a cell phone and making posts from prison, that shit actually got him sent back? I'm not exactly sure. Chatham County, Georgia. A Chatham County man will be serving more time behind bars after a photo surfaced on social media showing him abusing another inmate at a federal correctional facility. The shocking image posted to social media shows an unidentified prisoner on all fours with a belt around his neck and a large amount of cash on top of his head. Folks, we've seen pictures like this and we've done videos talking about this where your daddy is in prison getting dog walked like a dog for clicks on TikTok. And here is an example of that shit going horribly wrong. What you thought was going to be a viral sensation turns into a violation and sends your dumb ass back to prison. Of course, it's a white guy down on all fours, just got to call it for what it is. And not only that, but he's got a stack of money on top of his head. That's very important because of what this story is going to continue to share with us. Ultimate flex. You got the guy down on all fours. Look at the dog collar and leash. Is that thing bedazzled right there? I mean, I know it's not iced out, but it kind of looks like it is, doesn't it? Damn, man, you got the iced out dog collar and leash, dog walking somebody's daddy in prison with, I don't know how much money that is on top of his head right there. If it's all ones, it's definitely going to give the wrong impression right there. If it's all hundreds, Jesus Christ, man, you got about 100 bands up in prison. If it's all 20s, it could be about 10,000. But it's a shit ton of money to be having in prison. And yo, you got that shit right on top of somebody's daddy's head right there. The one thing that I will say about this photo is thank God, at least you did Buddy a solid by putting some kind of draping something over his head right there. It almost looks like we've got a bag over his head. The ultimate embarrassment, disgracement, disrespectment. I don't know if any of those were words. that you could be subject to while serving time. And dude is in federal prison where this is taking place. I didn't know cell phones were as common in federal prisons, but we're seeing videos coming out of federal prisons, so certainly they are. And it seems like the feds ain't gonna play about this type of shit at all. It was pretty shocking. It was pretty appalling that could take place in a Georgia prison. Deputy Chatham County District Attorney Brian something said the social media image is what prompted the Chatham County DA's office to petition for Trayvon Nelson Martin to lose part of his probation and serve more time in prison. Holy shit. Martin posted the image to Instagram from inside Smith Transitional Center in Claxton, Georgia. I don't know anything about this Smith Transitional Center. It sounds like a reentry. It sounds like a halfway house. It sounds like definitely a low. We're not talking about a medium or a USP. In the post, he bragged about putting the prisoner in this position over an alleged $100 debt. Buddy, you got anywhere between 10 to 100 bands sitting on top of this guy's head right here, and you worried about $100? Rightfully so, as you should be. When you get to prison, or at least when I did, the guards, they try to be your buddy. After, it's a lot of Jekyll and Hyde. It's a lot of mind games. It's almost like going to boot camp, even though I've never been there. But, I see videos of it where you're getting off the bus and they're screaming at you. In one regard, that's what they're doing. And then in another regard, it's like good cop, bad cop type of a deal. In one of the good cop moments, one of the guards said something along the lines of, "Hey, look, you're new here." Talking to all of us. He said, "There's 3 things that you better not do while you're here. Don't borrow nothing, don't gamble, and don't trust anybody." And when you borrow something and you end up with a debt like this guy, $100 debt, you can find yourself in a not so favorable position as this guy did. So the DA, let's pay attention to what we've learned thus far. The DA, not the DEA, the DA, the district attorney, sees this Instagram post, realizes that it's from this particular institution, and even knows who the prisoner is who has done this some kind of a way. He probably was told on. That's how the DA got wind of this. But could you imagine the DA just scrolling through reels on Instagram and runs across this post and says, "Hey, wait a minute. Hey, that's our institution. Who is this guy?" And then he goes and looks on the Rolodex and the roster, and he finds Trayvon Nelson Martin. Maybe that's how 2 and 2 equaled 4 in this situation. Not exactly sure, but this gets even better, folks, because the story continues and says he made several other posts. He was moved from one prison to another, and he continued to use his phone that he wasn't supposed to have to essentially mock his disciplinary proceedings. The DA said, can you imagine this? You're already on their radar. They're moving you because of what you're doing on social media, and you continue to do it, and not only continue to do it, but you mocking them white folks. Oh, gosh almighty. Hey, you mocking the whiteys. Man, hey, that was the wrong thing to do at the right time, stick man. You a dumbass. Again, going back to the synopsis of what this story could be about, the stupidest criminal of the week. Hey, we're not in prison for being, theologist. So because of all of this, the DA's office moved to have a portion of Martin's probation revoked for false imprisonment. Oh my God, Stickman, you took a hostage in prison by putting that choker collar, that bedazzled dog leash with them 10 bands on top of somebody's daddy's head. Dog, they got you for false imprisonment. That's like a carjacking in prison is what you got right there. Oh my God, that carries so much time in Virginia. That's an abduction. That's another way for saying abduction, kidnapping, home invasion, carjacking, even though those go a little bit outside of false imprisonment. I mean, hey man, that's basically, you're right there in the wheelhouse of that. And in the state of Virginia, them type of charges carry no less than 20 years. You wanted to play with them folks. They ain't gonna do shit to me. I got a cell phone in prison. It's like having a gun on the street. You feel invincible, don't you? Not no more, though. So I'm wondering if dude got released. And then they came and got him when he got released. Could you imagine he's walking out the gate? Hey, yeah, I'm going home. Yeah, I got me a little Instagram following. I'm about to be a content creator. Excuse me, Mr. Travion Nelson Martin. Put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest. Jesus Christ, I just walked out the gates. What am I under arrest for? False imprisonment. Man, shit. We weren't able to prosecute him for false imprisonment because that didn't take place in the confines of Chatham County. Oh, man, they were trying. The DA said, we were able to revoke his probation because he committed a new offense, whether he was arrested for it or not. Gosh almighty, hey, they making up the law as they go. How he commit a new offense if he was never arrested for it? That's what they were saying. We were able to revoke his probation because he committed a new offense, whether he was arrested for it or not. Man, that's a bar right there. Like a bar exam. Martin was originally sentenced to 15 years for felony narcotics possession and felony drug trafficking. 5 years were to be served behind bars and 10 years on probation. Again, mind you, he was in the federal system. He got blessed only having to serve that little pound puppy. However, he was ordered to serve another 6 years behind bars. Oh my God. They crucified this guy. We're not talking about getting another year or 18 months added onto your sentence. They gave this guy more time to serve in prison than he was originally sentenced to serve in prison. All because of having a cell phone, trying to be cute, trying to be you a little TikTok model or whatnot. An Instagram model. Yeah, man. Hey, you was out there chasing the clout, but in turn, the clout chased you. I don't know what I'm saying right there, but this is insane. Can you imagine this? A cell phone. You didn't even escape. What did you really do? I should be this guy's lawyer. Your Honor, what did my client really do? He crossed an imaginary line with a bedazzled dog collar and choker chain on some white folk's head with 10 grand stacked on top of his head. It's like the Lil Wayne song. I picked the world up and dropped it on his effing head. That's what my client was trying to do. He was influenced by the music you're on. 6 years? 6 years you're going to give to my client? That's racist. Shit. Yeah, man. Hey, they was not playing with this dude. And I've been telling y'all, I've been trying to tell y'all, but y'all don't listen. That's why you in prison now. I can see the comment. Joe has lost his ever-loving mind. But seriously, though. All of this shit coming out of prison with these cell phones. Yeah, it's cute when we're doing the little music videos and whatnot, but keep effing around. Putting somebody's daddy on all fours with a bedazzled choker chain and a dog leash. Dog walking him. If you're doing it and you're watching my video, trying to get ideas for how to continue to chase that fame and what not to do, because clearly that's about all I'm good for at this point is what not to do. Joe's doing that. Let me do the exact opposite. That'll work. Probably so. Yeah, man, you might want to reevaluate your life choices. Why don't we have any videos coming out of prison? And here I go, giving away billion-dollar ideas, billion-view ideas. Why don't we have any videos coming out of prison where people are actually showcasing reform, showcasing good shit? Filming a Bible study. Look at what I can do. Hallelujah. Or, doing a good deed. You see these videos on the internet. Hey, I went and cut some homeless veterans' grass who didn't have any arms or legs, and I did it for free, even though I got 30 million views off of that, and I made $300,000 off of that video, but I did it for free. Why don't we have any videos of good deeds coming out of prison? Here's a guy. He doesn't have any commissary. He doesn't have any family. He doesn't have any bad type of charges. He's just down bad in prison. I wanted to clean his cell for him. That would probably go stupid viral. I went and made his bed. Now I'm his bitch. My, how the tides have turned. The story continues to say, just because they are in prison and they may be a criminal, that doesn't mean they shouldn't be safe, the DA continued to say, of the inmate who was abused. Let's talk about that, though, real quick. What about this inmate who had the bedazzled dog collar around his neck and the 10 bands dropped on his head like a Lil Wayne song? What were his charges? Because if they were the bad type of charges, I am going to create a petition to get this man home again. No, I'm not. I'm just saying that. I'm talking out of my ass. Based on Martin's most recent social media post, he was out of prison for 2 months before the motion to revoke his probation was filed and he was taken back into custody. Can you imagine? Oh, Jesus. Oh, this is bad. You know, here's this guy. He was serving his time. Hey, he was just trying to make the most of it that he could. Where did he get all of this money in prison from as well? Let's talk about that. Cash money, stacks upon stacks, racks, as they used to be referred to. Racks on racks on racks. Where did he get that? From illegal gains, I'm sure, extortion or the sale of narcotics while in prison, which, you know, probably should be taken more seriously than what was actually being done to the other guy. But I'm just going to call it for what it is. I guarantee you that the DA is white. And because he saw this white guy getting dog walked with this bedazzled dog collar on his neck, he wasn't playing that shit at all. He wanted to go smoke Trayvion's boots. And most certainly he did so. Can you imagine that, though? Buddy's out of prison for 2 months, trying to get his life back together, or maybe he's right back in the streets. Who knows? He might be in the studio working on his mixtape, or, you know, maybe he's working on skit videos. He's going to be the next Desi Banks or the next Drewski at a Diddy party. Who the hell knows? And then 2 months later, boom, you go check in with your probation. I'm doing A-OK. And they lock your silly ass up. And you're wondering for what for? All for some shit that you did because you had an illegal cell phone in prison and you wanted to post all on social media about that shit. To believe someone could possess those stacks of money in one of our prison facilities, it raises all kinds of concerning questions, the DA continues. How did they get it? What's it from? Why is it on this person's head? It's just very, very concerning. The DA's office was unable to identify the prisoner being abused in the photo because no one came forward scared. Oh, wussy ass. Stand for something to fall for everything. That's what you're going to do. Contraband is an ongoing concern throughout the state, though, and wait till you hear these metrics I'm getting ready to share with you. According to the Georgia Department of Correction, these are the contraband totals for the calendar year of 2024. Folks, what I'm getting ready to share with you is the exact numbers from the state of Georgia in terms of how much contraband was confiscated last year, 2024. You ain't gonna believe this. Cell phones, 7,389. Damn, that's a lot of phones. You got to think, if every phone cost $1,000, let's just throw that number out there because at one point they used to. I'm sure they're a lot cheaper now. You're talking $700,000, almost $1 million worth of cell phones. I don't know if my math is correct right there. Let me actually do that math real quick before somebody says, Joe, you're an idiot. It's really 7 million. Holy shit, I was way off, man. You're talking $7.3 million. Weapons, 11,663. Now, that could be anything from soap in a sock to full-on katana swords getting confiscated. Pills. This is actually pretty interesting. The amount of pills that were confiscated in the state of Georgia in the year 2024 last year is not as high as I thought that it would be. Only 1,720. Not sure why that number is so low when you look at these other numbers. THC, 80.54 kilograms. Damn. 80.5 kilos of marijuana was confiscated last year. Meth, 16.5 kilos confiscated last year. Cocaine and ecstasy, 6.44 kilograms confiscated last year. Man, y'all like to party down there in the state of Georgia, man. What y'all doing with an e-pill in prison? Y'all parachuting that money? That is crazy. Gosh, oh my, y'all turning prison into a rave party. Tobacco, 240.66 kilos confiscated last year. Unbelievable. Insane numbers in terms of contraband. And just think of the street value or the prison value of these things. Like I said, if the cell phones were $1,000 a pop and you had 7,300 cell phones, you're talking $7.3 million just in cell phones. One final thing that I want to leave you guys with as I wrap this up, just a little question. What happens to all of these contraband items? 7,000 cell phones. What do you do with that? You put it on eBay? I mean, because to throw it away is, in the weapons, what do you do with 11,000 shanks? You should have a museum. You really should. Just crazy to think. Folks, I wanted to share this story with you. This is absolutely absurd. Hope that I was able to share this with you in a way that you found enjoyable or at least spark some kind of a debate. What do you think of this? Do you think that the amount of time that they gave to this guy was a little bit of overkill? Personally, I feel like it is, but let me tell you something. They're making martyrs of you now. I know you feel invincible having that cell phone and you got you a little following out there and they're going to ride for you. We ride at sunset. But the law is the law. And them cell phones in prison is illegal. If you want to keep putting your face all out there, wonder what his Instagram account was. Travion Nelson Martin. Official. You shouldn't be surprised if something like this comes of it. If you're in prison and you're watching this on a contraband cell phone, be careful. Because if something like this could happen to this guy, it most certainly could happen to you as well, too. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about this video. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted and make the most of every day. Peace!